Hello, my lovely viewers. Welcome to another video of sports on Fauzan Harun channel, the channel of choice. And if it happens to be your first time of doing the viewing alongside myself and the technical team in the studios here, please do well to hit the subscribe button, the red subscribe button. Please touch the notification bell after hitting the red subscribe button, and then give me thumbs up if you enjoyed the presentation in the course of it or at the end of the presentation whatsoever. And then you do let me know in the comment box what you feel about the program. Most importantly, finally, you do the sharing, you share the videos, spread the information for your friends to also have a feeling and excitement that you derive from watching these videos from this channel. And that's most importantly, you do the sharing as I indicated. And then in today's edition, excuse me, I'm going to review the Chelsea game against Sevilla at the Estadio Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan in the Spanish city of Seville. The Spanish city of Seville. And then the Sevilla is the team that we played against, and quite honestly, you saw the fantastic display of the Chelsea team against the crack and very strong Sevilla opposition. And I must emphasize that already the talking point in the beginning of the season throughout up to this time has been that Chelsea has not beaten any solid or top opposition in the competition so far. Remember losing 0-2 to Liverpool, although I insist and still maintain that it was a Chelsea weakened side, because remember that Hakim Ziyech didn't play, Ben Chilwell didn't play, and Edouard Mendy has not completed his signature. Christian Pulisic was still nursing an injury, and then one or two still our 5 to 6 top-notch first-team players didn't feature in that game. If you could quite remember, so many injuries on our cast back then, and then coupled with the fact that Liverpool had to beat us with 10 men in the second half, and also Kepa Arrizabalaga giving them a freebie of a goal, giving the Sadio Mane a free goal, and then they had to defeat us after Christensen was given the red carded. And then remember, after that game, we also had big games. I'm selectively dealing with big opposition, so we also drew with Tottenham Hotspur in the Carling Cup 1-1. That was ironically the first match of Edu Mendy after joining Chelsea, goalkeeper Edouard Mendy after joining Chelsea. A fantastic display back then, which revealed the prospect of what we are to expect in the days ahead. And then we also played against Manchester United, which ended 0-0 in a barren goalless scoreline at Old Trafford. And yet again, most connoisseurs of the game, and for that matter, some pundits are saying, putting question on the form of Chelsea as to the fact that we still not beating a top opposition. And then moving fast forward, we also drew with Tottenham Hotspur 0-0 in the league again. And once again, some pundits were saying still Chelsea has not been able to score against a top side. And remember, in the earlier on, even before all these matches that I've highlighted, we drew on the first day of the Champions League against Sevilla, the 0-0 scoreline, a barren scoreline for that matter. Also, it happened to be Edouard Mendy's first Champions League match, which he kept a clean sheet. And yesterday was a statement for that matter. I'm giving you the history of these matches to indicate that this same Sevilla that most soccer pundits said were top side that we've not beaten, yesterday we answered them. Frank Lampard answered them for that matter by defeating Sevilla by 4 goals, thrashing them for that matter by 4-0 at their own backyard. And also, so it gives a statement of fact that Chelsea has indeed arrived or is arriving. I'm not saying we've arrived, but we are giving a statement all this while, despite us getting this 0-0 scoreline about with respect to top opposition, and minus the encounter in the Carling Cup, the 1-1 scoreline against Tottenham Hotspur. Most connoisseurs of the game said we've not scored against a top opposition. Yesterday we answered that question by scoring 4 unanswered goals at Sevilla. And so that is a source of pride for Chelsea management, the coach, and we, the fans as well. And also, Olivier Giroud's perfect hat-trick, as well as his masterclass, was on display, and it gave us a definite statement to the fact that he needs to be started ahead of Tammy Abraham. And now even Timo Werner is starting on the wings, and so I wouldn't want to compare him with Olivier Giroud, though the statistics of Olivier Giroud is far better with respect to these other two strikers that we do possess in our backyard. And also, it happens that Tammy Abraham seems to be good playing mid-table teams, honestly, and less fancy teams. I'm not saying he's not good, and because against Tottenham Hotspur, those of you who watch and follow my shows, I indicated that any of Giroud or Tammy Abraham, either of them, could as well I fancy either of them on the pitch, on the field. But Tammy Abraham disappointed me big time, and so I'm going into the weekend's game against Leeds United. I think playing Olivier Giroud will be a better option for Chelsea to do. Yeah, and I advocate for Tammy Abraham, as I said, but he disappointed me. And so in the big games, Olivier Giroud should be preferred. The big six, the top Champions League matches, he should be preferred. And I'm not saying Tammy Abraham is finished. No, he's doing well in the season, and I still maintain that he's doing well in general terms in the season so far. But I still insist that in the big games, because of lack of experience, sometimes he finds it difficult to adapt to the situation beforehand. And we could quite remember in the game against Tottenham Hotspur, he was given 3 excellent crosses, but he was supposed to have dealt with it better, but he failed to do so. In some cases, he was even falling down, waiting for mercy from the referee, which never came. And then Matthew Kovacic was also excellent as usual, trying to consolidate his position in the first 11 of Chelsea. And remember, in this game, Lampard went in with 9 new substitutions, with 9 new changes as compared to the lineup against Tottenham Hotspur that we played. So the only players that were in was Matthew Kovacic and Edouard Mendy were the only 2 players that came in and were equally replicated in the lineup against Tottenham. So all the other 9 team players that added up to make 11 were new players. Sorry. So you saw Edu Mendy, Aspilicueta, Emerson, Rudiger, and then Christensen, all new, and they didn't feature in the Tottenham game, remember. And also in midfield, we have Kovacic, of course, he featured Jorginho there, this guy, Pulisic, and then Hostin Odoi, and then Kai Havertz, and then we had Olivier Giroud. So you saw that all that were new players, and the tactics were spot on for Lampard. And so I give kudos and commendation to our coach Frank Lampard for deploying this strategy. And if it had backfired, we would have always criticized him, I told you. So I still give him a thumbs up for having the confidence to put up this lineup. And also, Emerson Palmieri did well. You know, I criticized him in most of my previous shows. So in this case, he did well. But he still needs to convince me with more matches. He still needs to, because I fancy Alonso ahead of him. So he still needs to convince me. And Billy Gilmour also had some few minutes to his credit, as I indicated in my previous shows. Those of you who didn't watch should have the benefit of doubt at their own convenience to switch back and watch that show. I said possibly he may get some minutes, which Lampard gave him some few minutes, Billy Gilmour, and it's quite refreshing news for us. And also with these results, it has given us the opportunity to test Kepa Arrizabalaga in our final game against Krasnodar, Cuban Krasnodar at the Stamford Bridge, because that game is meaningless to Chelsea because we've already not qualified, but we already qualified one and also topped our group with that solid performance from Mendy. And so in the final game, Kepa Arrizabalaga should be given the chance to also be in the post. And also the myth that Thiago Silva is responsible for our defensive organization as the prime person responsible for our defensive organization is defeated here. No disrespect, as I keep on saying, no disrespect to Thiago Silva, but I was telling people that our prime defensive organizer is Edouard Mendy first, and second, Thiago Mendy before Zuma and the others will come in. So, and in this game, it was proven that my assertion was indeed true, that Edu Mendy was in there, Thiago Silva was not there, but we were able to still organize the defense and still got a clean sheet. So that tells you Edu Mendy, the influence of Edouard Mendy. So hopefully in the game against Krasnodar, we wish Kepa Arrizabalaga all the best, but yet still you will see his reflexes as compared to the performance of Mendy, his ball distribution, his coming out of his line on time to breach and stop play from opponents is quite fantastic. Let's do some screen display before we exit this video. So that's the scoreline there, boldly written there. Chelsea 4, Sevilla 0. Olivier Giroud is the man there. He should be given more minutes. He deserves more. That's Giroud and Azpilicueta celebrating, the captain for the day. Yeah. So those celebrations there are going on there. Yeah. Yeah. So you saw them enjoying themselves there, and then Pulisic there, an excellent performance also. So that was the penalty kick for Olivier Giroud. He had a penalty kick, the fourth goal. And remember, he had a perfect hat-trick. And by perfect hat-trick, I mean he scored with his left foot, his right foot, his head, and then his head. So that's the three perfect. The head, the right foot, and the left foot. So that was a perfect hat-trick. Please, if you've not subscribed to the channel, do well to hit the subscribe button for me. And the subscriber challenge is still ongoing. Please, we need more subscribers to push the channel. You and I know that we need more subscribers to push the channel. The subscribers that we are getting is far less than the capacity and the competence of the channel. Please do well to push the channel. We need more subscribers for the channel to thrive well. Thank you very much for spending your golden and precious opportunity to dine with me with respect to watching the video of the review of the Sevilla versus Chelsea game. I love you and I salute you wherever you are. Cheers, bye-bye. Hope to see you in my subsequent videos. Puyaka.